Why do siblings, people who grew up together, who shared meals and memories, end up fighting so bitterly over inheritance? Inheritance disputes are among the most painful conflicts in families. When parents die, the hope is for unity. Instead, there's often division, anger, and even lifelong estrangement. Today, let's go deep. We'll uncover the psychological, emotional, cultural, and financial reasons why inheritance brings out such fierce conflict. We'll also talk about how to heal, how to approach these conversations, and how to protect family bonds even in the most difficult times. This is not just about money. It's about love, fairness, trust, and the wounds families carry. Inheritance is supposed to be a final gift from parents to their children, but in many families, it becomes the spark for the worst fights. Why? Let's break it down in detail. 1. Emotional baggage and old wounds. Sibling rivalry doesn't start with a will. It often starts in childhood. When parents show favoritism, even subtly, children notice. A child who felt less loved may grow into an adult who's hypersensitive to fairness. When the will is read and it seems unequal, even slightly, it confirms old fears of being less loved. Money becomes a stand-in for love. Example: a sister says, "You always were mom's favorite. Now she proved it in her will." A brother says, "Dad never respected me. That's why he left me nothing." The fight is rarely just about money. It's about validation and old pain. 2. Perceptions of fairness versus equality. Not all parents divide inheritance equally. Sometimes they leave more to the child who cared for them, or less to one they see as already financially secure. What feels fair to parents might not feel fair to children. One sibling says, "I took care of mom for 10 years. I deserve more." Another says, "We're equal children. We should split it equally." These arguments can turn into deep resentments because there's no single definition of fairness. 3. Cultural expectations and traditions. In some cultures, eldest sons inherit more. In others, daughters were historically left out. Even if those traditions fade, expectations linger. Example: the eldest says, "It's my duty to manage the land." The younger siblings say, "We want our equal share." These cultural beliefs can clash badly in modern families. 4. Economic inequality. Between siblings. Imagine one sibling is struggling financially, while another is wealthy. The struggling sibling may feel they need more of the inheritance to survive. The wealthy sibling may resent being pressured or guilt-tripped. Sometimes the richer sibling says, "It's not my fault you can't manage money." The other responds, "Easy for you to say, you don't need it." These fights aren't really about the will. It's about family members judging each other's choices and needs. 5. Lack of communication and transparency. Many parents never discuss their will. Siblings are left shocked, angry, or confused. If mom or dad told everyone the plan in advance, there might have been time to adjust expectations. But secrecy leads to suspicion. Did you pressure mom to change the will? Did you hide money from the rest of us? Why didn't you tell me sooner? A lack of communication almost always makes fights worse. 6. Sentimental value versus financial value. Not all inheritance is cash. Sometimes the worst fights are over objects: the family home, a piece of land, a parent's jewelry, old photos. One sibling wants to sell, another wants to keep it forever. A simple example: I don't want your money. I want Dad's watch. It's mine. This emotional attachment can make compromise difficult. 7. Executor conflicts and power imbalances. Often, one sibling is named executor. They have power over distributing the estate. Other siblings may suspect them of favoring themselves, moving too slowly, being unfair. This can turn a family dynamic toxic, even if the executor is trying to do everything fairly. 8. Grief makes everything harder. Inheritance discussions happen after death. While everyone is grieving, grief brings anger, confusion, and emotional volatility. People may lash out over the will, not because they care about money, but because they're in pain. 9. Legal complexity and ambiguity. If the will is unclear, vague, or contested, lawyers get involved. What starts as a family matter becomes an adversarial public fight. 10. Greed. Yes, sometimes it's just greed. Not all conflict is noble. Some siblings do fight purely out of greed, wanting to maximize their share without caring about fairness or family bonds. This is hard to face, but it's part of reality. Story 1. Favoritism confirmed. A father leaves 80% of his estate to one child who always lived with him. The other two are shocked and furious. Old wounds open. They accuse the favored child of manipulating Dad in his last years. Story 2. Caregiver conflict. A daughter cared for her sick mother for 10 years. The will leaves her more. The other siblings resent it. She feels betrayed. I gave up my life for her, and you're angry I get more? Story 3. The family home. 3 siblings inherit a house. One wants to sell. One wants to keep it as a vacation home. One can't afford to buy out the others. They end up in court. So, if inheritance fights are so common and so painful, how can families avoid them? Or if you're already in conflict, how can you begin to heal? Let's talk about some practical, compassionate advice. 1. Talk early, talk often. Families should talk about inheritance before parents die. Yes, it's awkward, but it's much better to clarify expectations now than fight later. Parents can explain, we want things to be equal. We're giving more to the caregiver. This is why we made these choices. These conversations reduce surprises and resentments. 2. Write a clear will. A vague will is an invitation for conflict. Parents should work with a lawyer to make their wishes clear and legally sound. 3. Consider fairness beyond equality. Fair doesn't always mean equal. If one child gave years of unpaid care, maybe they should receive more, but it must be acknowledged openly. 4. Use mediation or family meetings. Families can hold meetings with a neutral facilitator or mediator. A trained mediator can help everyone feel heard and find compromises. 5. Respect sentimental value. Money can be divided. Objects can't. Families should discuss who wants what and consider rotation systems, buyouts, or drawing lots. Some families create wish lists so no one feels blindsided. 6. Avoid power plays by executors. If one sibling is the executor, they must communicate openly. Transparency about timelines, decisions, and accounting can reduce suspicion. 7. Acknowledge emotions and grief. Conflict often masks grief. Family members should try to see the pain behind the anger. 8. Don't let lawyers become the only communicators. Legal battles can destroy relationships. If possible, families should keep talking, even during disputes. 9. Consider equalization gifts. While alive, parents with unequal plans can consider giving during life to avoid surprises later. 10. Prioritize relationships over money. Finally, remember, family is more important than inheritance. No amount of money can replace a lost sibling relationship. Inheritance fights don't have to tear families apart. With honest conversations, empathy, and planning, families can navigate even the most painful inheritance issues while protecting the bonds that matter most. Remember, at the end of the day, it's not just about what parents leave behind. It's about how they help their children carry on, together. This reminds us that inheritance isn't just about money. It's about the responsibility we have to each other and to future generations. So let's choose compassion over conflict, understanding over accusation, and family over division. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep building understanding, one conversation at a time.